Hi everyone, it's Jen and I am here with the ASC design team project. ASC supplies on Etsy. Use scrapping pouch 10 for 10% off your normal price purchase. And we are doing the 8x8 x 3-inch spine Curiouser mini album from Graphic 45. So check out the playlist in the description. And let's get started on the next page. So I'm thinking about a diagonal pocket page. Or a flap diagonal pocket page. This one, or we could do two. Let's do the flap. So I did a 6.5 by 6.5 square, and I'm going to cut that at a diagonal. So you end up with that. And then we're going to score on the not diagonal sides here. At 1/2 inch is fine. Cut that corner off, you don't need it. There's your pocket. And now this is a 6 by 6-ish pocket. And we can add it just like that, or we can add it to a flap. It doesn't matter. Let's just add it like that. So the pocket, you can mat it, but I think what I'm going to do is find a cut apart for it. Maybe a border. And this is a red page. If you haven't been following along, we're going by page color. Totally forgot to push the record button for the diagonal pocket. Major bummer. So I'll do a separate video for that, I suppose. Or maybe we'll do one later and I'll just reference that. So besides that catastrophe, I'm like, what am I going to do with this page? So I'm doing waterfalls on the back. So this page, let's go ahead and just do some pockets. Let's do let me just do one big pocket or one diagonal or horizontal pocket. Let's do that. 7.5. We're going to cut this to 8.5 inches then. And he's the same size as the page, so cut him down to 3.5 inches. And score. I dropped my album yesterday. Everything is fine. Nothing even fell out, so it's sturdy, just in case anybody wanted to know. Have a design team package coming. I think I told you in another video. It ended up in Indiana. I took the scenic route. I live in Ohio. It came from Georgia. But I checked today and it's close. But I don't know. Sometimes they deliver on Sundays. But I'm not going to hold my breath. We'll do the 8.5 by 3.5 scored at 1/2 inch on both sides. And I think I want a flap on it. I know I said I got flaps happening on the other page, but I still want a flap on it. So this is just some random piece of paper I have. It is 6 by 5.5-ish. I'm going to add another 3.5 inch pocket to this. So I need a 6.5 inch piece of paper. And we're going to score at 1/2 inch on both sides. I've already got everything cut for the middle, so. Not everything, it has to kind of mats, but I haven't decided how I'm going to mat it yet, so there's that. I've been doing lots of belly bands in this one. I feel like, maybe I haven't, but I feel like I've been doing lots of belly bands. I want to stub punch it. Am I stub punching? I'm stub punching. Okay. As close as you can get it without covering the bead so it opens and closes. My paper's being sassy, just in case anybody's following my whole weight loss thing. I did lose weight this week and I am going to eat Chipotle today. Not that I can't eat Chipotle, but it takes all the calories for the day. And if I eat Chipotle and I don't eat anything, or if I eat Chipotle and stay within my calories, then I don't hit my protein goal. So there's that. But I worked really, really hard this week. Okay. So let's mat some stuff. We have a 3.5 by 7.5. We're on red. I have not used this tone on tone yet. I have several pages of it. So let's go ahead and do that. And then I think here we'll just use a cream. so I can see it. Oh, he is not big enough. I thought he was big enough. Well, now I have that. Sticky. Alright, let's try that again. It's just being finicky. There we go. Let's do, I have not used this white or red heart on cream yet. Let's use that. With one of the smaller top parts for this big pocket. I almost want to use one of the frames. Like we could put a frame in there. Let's see, which one do I want to use? This one's square, so it would be easier, but let's not take the easy way out. Let's decide what we want and go for it. There's those two. That's a big. I don't want to add the bulk of chipboard. And there's that one. So I think if I'm going to use the red background or the white with the red, we'll use the darker frame. And to do that, I'm going to take a piece of the cream and we're going to cut around it here. I'm going to make a little cut so I know where to cut it on the trimmer so I get a straight cut, because I won't just get a straight cut otherwise. Okay, now I'm going to trim a little off one side because it was a little big. You can see. Okay. There we go. And now that fits. I'm just going to trim off the edges because the edges are kind of rounded there. Okay. Now we have a frame that you can stick something in the top of. It'll go right there. We just won't, or let's go ahead and glue that down. We'll do this side. We'll leave the side open because I'm worried that if I leave that, it's going to bend. So around, and I'm just going around the edge. I'm not going to go all the way. I'm not gluing this part down, I guess. On those thin pieces, I want to round that out. I know it fits, so all I have to do is line it back up. And and because it's on that cream, if I mess it up a little bit, you're not going to notice. So there, you'll have somewhere you can stick a photo in there. I'm going to go ahead and cut this mat from here. And he ended up being, I don't remember, 6 by 5.5, I think. By 5.5. Almost cut it wrong. 6 by 5.5. Does not look big enough. But alas, my measuring was correct this time. We've got 2 stub punch, 2 corners. Nothing planned today with the exception of possibly mowing the grass. So I may get this album done today. Okay, so now I'm not sure how to convey to people that that side is open, but I guess somebody's gonna have to watch the video. I don't think I have anything that'll fit in there. Alright, I'm just gonna make sure it's even. Use the hearts to line it up. There we go. And then I'm thinking I need a sticker over here. I like these banners. I'll put him right there. And you could make that a tuck spot. Let's go ahead and make it a tuck spot. Put it on a sheet of scrap paper. And cut around it. It's a good solid tuck spot. And then glue on 3 sides. That way we don't tuck anything underneath it, but if somebody wants to put a big picture right there, they can tuck it underneath. Like that. Let's see, what do I have for There's over here. New. Okay, so 6 inches. We'll do a 10. By 7. Square in half. Actually, I don't know that that is 6 inches now that I'm thinking about it. That's okay. If it's too big, we'll put it down. think after this, I'm going to make some cards. We're going to deco punch this. I have the new AB Studio die cuts. So I wanted to make some cards with the AB Studio die cuts. And then we can, I'm going to use him again. Oh, it's on this side. Perfect. And it doesn't have a paper collection, or at least Crystal didn't have the paper collection for it. So we're going to use some leftover paper collections, which is exciting for me, because I always love using leftovers and trying to use up all my collections. Okay, let's see here. We have, let's just go all this one. We have enough of it. Just like this one, but it's all just red and white, or red and cream. Toss that. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. This one measures 5.5 tall. And then this is 3. That'll be alright. And then that one's perfect, so we'll just stump punch it. And then I could add another border, but I just put a border here, so I don't want to make it look like I just had this brilliant idea of adding borders and then add a border to every pocket. Okay, just distress 3 sides there. And then Rebecca, when she was doing her video, I don't know if it's her share video or the video on the Facebook group about the her travel album that she did with this collection. But she said something along the lines that she didn't know always what to do with the banners that come in the ephemera pack. So I want to use one for a pocket, which I think will be neat. Okay, so that's crooked, so let's go ahead and add a border. We'll use a border sticker. And I'm going to cut it. I'm going to cut it on my trimmer because I can't cut anything straight. You'd think I would be better at it by now, but I'm not. And a little tag. A little bigger than that. Bigger than that. I have one. good. We're using Deco Punch on the tags. Alright, here goes in there. And that is those pages done, the red pages. And now I get to do my favorite, the middle pages. Because it has a 1/2 inch gusset in it, it lets me do bigger things. So we're going to do waterfalls. So I got a 4.5 by 4.5 square with a 1/2 inch on one side. That's going to be the vertical waterfall, and then the 4.5 by 7.5. Did I tell me 7.5? I did. It's going to be a full page horizontal waterfall. So I'm going to do this side first. And this is where it's fun if you wanted to use a border punch, like a doily punch or something on that edge. That's a fun place to do it. It's going to take me a while, so I'm going to put everything away. And essentially we're just going to fill this page with little pages or little flaps, and that's going to be our little horizontal waterfall. We could do them smaller. We don't have to do the entire page height, but so I'm going to start, and so you can see there's the page. I'm going to start at this end. I'm going to move it over a 1/2 inch. So we got a 1/2 inch between the page, a 1/2 inch-ish. I'm not measuring. Just line it up with the page, and it should line up. As long as everything you cut is straight. Okay. The next one. Going to line it up on the inside. And then before we put it down all the way, I want to line it up with the page so that it's not crooked. And if it doesn't work because you cut something crooked, move it a little bit out so it does line up with the page. It doesn't have to sit right on. He does not want to go down flat, but that's okay. He's good enough. We could have also stub punched or deco punched these. I didn't think about it. Okay. And then am I going to get another one in there without going over? I don't think I am. Unless I trim some of this off, which I can. I'll just have a smaller binding there. So I just cut off part of that 1/2 inch gusset and made it more like 3/8 of an inch. And then I'm going to line it up with the outside, but don't go over the bead. Okay, there's your horizontal. Okay, now on this one, we have to decide if we're matting first, and I do want to mat first. but let's just use a cream piece because there's no sense in, we're going to cover most of it up, I guess is my thought. So that one is 7.5, and we're cutting it to, this page is 5.5-ish. And then the mats for these aren't that bad because we made them all the same size. So we're just going to cut a whole bunch of mats the same size if we use mats. That's your discretion. It adds bulk, and if you're going to use it for an album, they should cover those mats up with pictures, right? Okay. I do want to mat this though, because it is a 1/2 inch, it's a bit bigger. I have borders and I have scraps that I can use for that. Okay, so my waterfalls, the trick that I use to line them up straight is I start from the bottom. I'm just gonna fold all these. And I don't know, I think I cut 6, but I don't know that they'll all fit, so we just gonna play it by ear. This one we will deco, no, yeah, stub punch. We're gonna stub punch the edges. I'm gonna empty this thing. All right. Put this here. I'm centering it, and I'm leaving just a little bit at the bottom. Put it on top, you line up that top, and then you line up the sides. That's the key. You line up the top, and you line up the sides. If you cut it right, it should work. This one looks like it's cut kind of wonky, but we shall see when we go to line it up. That looks good. We may fit all of them on there. I think we will. This is a big, hefty page, so. And then I think instead of adding all the bulk, close enough. Instead of adding all the bulk of matting that, I'm going to look at is the other one that I cut apart, because this is a little too big. I have one. Like this one. Okay, so I cut this apart. And what we can do is we can just use that. I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. So I can put it right here and we just cut so that there's no little pieces. We'll start here. I want to make it straight. And I'm going to cut it here. Now the only thing about this is that it kind of catches when you open and close this. So you just got to close it, open and close it a little gently, I guess. And we're just going to make marks on both sides where we have to cut it. So my first piece, I'm going to cut from here to here. Make sure you mark it on both sides because there's no straight edge here unless you use something with a straight edge. And I'm going to go ahead and ink it. I probably should have inked it before and then just got the missing parts. And this is going to require wet glue. You gotta make sure you get all the way down to the sides, especially on the tops and bottoms. Okay. I thought about going on a hike today. I hurt my foot yesterday. And I think I better just stick with mowing. Okay, and then my next marks here and here. Line those guys up on the trimmer. I tried to make sure there weren't any tiny pieces that I was cutting off and having to glue on separate. This doesn't make a huge difference, it just makes it easier. I like the effect that this gives. And it's less bulky and it's less paper. Just line it up here. Just how you adjust it. And it's cut. It's got so already done. Let's do it more. All I do is line these up to cut straight. One more cut. And so there's a little pieces, not too bad, just one or two. Wait. There we go. And there's stop completely covered in glue. Okay, these tiny pieces. For the black flower. For the watch. I don't think I can get that. Keep going right there. Okay. I was going to say we're doing something else, but these. Okay, and then I'll leave them here. And I'm just using that as something that just went. I'm here. Okay. That's good. Oh, I opened the window. Oops. Okay, that's out. We're all done. I think it looks good. Let me see one of my borders. So I'll go here. I have. He is a little too big. He may work. Yeah, we'll just stick him there. That's fine. 7.5. The border. These guys will come down. Perfectly lined up, but I do cross out. We don't want that. Alright, there's that. Now I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pages that are four by 7.5, so I need 8 4 by 7.5 inch mats. And I tend to do a dark and a light. I'll dry fit one before I cut the rest of them. Oh, it's not 4.5, it's 4. This is why I dry fit, because I would have cut all those wrong. Okay, so 4, a little under 4. Which I could have got 3 out of a page, but I screwed that up. How about this pattern? So I have 2, and then 7.5. And then on the other side, let's do 2 with this rose paper, and then 2 cream, just cream cardstock. Let's see. Actually, yeah, we'll do that. I was gonna say maybe we'll do this with the cream cardstock and this with the, which we can. Let's do that. So we're gonna change these here for this, and then this is gonna go on the back side of these 2, and then cream cardstock. 7.5. A little under 4. Here. 7.5. Probably a little under 4. Okay, so there's all my mats for that. I'm gonna distress them, except for this last page, which I'll put one in there. I'm gonna distress them, and then I won't make you watch all that, or I'll speed it up for you. Here we go. Okay, all, there we go. That's our middle page, our feature. Like, I don't know, I just think it's the best page in the book. This one with the biggest gusset. So yeah, here's your waterfall, your vertical waterfall, and your horizontal waterfall. And then on this one, I think I'll put paper strips here just because they're not exactly straight. So I'll wait till the end and then I'll go back and put the paper strips there. So, all right. I think we're gonna call that a video. That's a video. And yeah, let's keep moving on the next video. Next is a yellow page, and I'm going to use this banner for a pocket, which is going to be super easy, but I think it'll be neat. So we'll make that part of a pocket, and that'll be this page. And then we'll do something pretty simple on that page. So come back and see me. Head on over to ASC Supplies on Etsy, asccraftsupplies.com. Use Scrapping Posh 10 for 10% off your normal price purchase. And we shall see you next time. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.